See, till now we have been introduced to two types of data types. You have heard of int, you have heard of float. Now what are these int and float? When we write int, when we declare int a, it basically means that a can have any integer value, maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 24, any integer value it can have. Similarly, if you write float b, you understand that b can have any floating point value like 9.3 or maybe 7.6 or maybe 25.2 and so on, any floating point value. What is the third data type that I introduce today? It is character, char, C-H-A-R, char. So if you write char a, what does it mean? It means you can assign certain character to it, like a is equal to, maybe you write f. F is a character. F is just one character, f. Or you can write, say, h, maybe o, maybe p. Any character you can assign to it. Maybe 0 also. But remember, not this 0. Not this 0. This 0 is an integer. This 0. 0 as a character. 0 treated as a character. This can be 9 also. But 9 treated as a character, the character 9, not the integer 9. This 9, if you add with 8, you don't get 17 because this is a character. So it can have any values of a character starting from A to Z, or maybe from capital A to capital Z, or maybe any character from 0 to 9. But one character, not 98. 9 or 0 or G or A or B, any character. So you can take a character and simply print it. It is as simple as that. Which means when you scan a character and print it, what do? You say printf, enter a number. I am just using a integer now. Enter a number, you write. I will just compare and do the needful. You say enter a number, colon with a gap maybe over here like this, and then you scan that, scanf. How do you scan that? %d ampersand a. A is a number. That means a needs to be declared as what? An integer. Int a you declare. You say printf, enter a number. You scanf %d ampersand a. After the scanf is done, then you write printf, the number you entered, entered is %d again, and that %d is replaced by the integer a. What happens when you run this code? I will get this part commented and then run this code and then compare it with how you can write a program which involves characters. So see over here, what do you say? Int a, printf, enter a number, scanf %d ampersand a, then printf, the number you entered is %d and a replacing that, which means the number that you enter, that is scanned within a and then again printed. So it is as simple as anything. Maybe the first program that you written 86, the number entered is 86. So similarly, if a is not an integer but a character, then scanf %d ampersand a, this has to be %c. Like using %d you scan an integer, using %f you scan a float, using %c you scan a character. So scanf %c ampersand a, and this is not enter a number but this is enter a character. %C ampersand A. Then instead of number, the character entered is %, not %D but %C. It's all the same. Like for an integer, this was enter a number. Here it's a character, so you write enter a character. For an integer, it was %D decimal. For a character, it is %C character. The number you entered was %D. Now the character you entered is %C. It's almost all the same. Let me run this program. Enter a character Y. The character entered is Y. So similarly, you cannot keep on entering characters. Say enter a character, if you enter something like this, D, F, G, T, H, it will say the character entered is D. Why? Because you have told it to scan one character, %C ampersand A. So %C, it will scan only one character. Over here, if you want to scan two integers, what do? You write %D, you write something like this, %D to scan two integers. Similarly, to scan two characters, I must write scanf %C. Then possible that you can scan two characters, %A, %B. And then you can write the characters entered are %C and %C. Compare with an integer, you will get it is absolutely same. Had it been two integers, you would have written enter two numbers. So here also I will write enter two characters. You would have written enter two numbers for an integer. Then you would have written scanf %D ampersand A ampersand B like this. Here, because you are scanning two characters, you simply write scanf %C ampersand A ampersand B. And then you write printf the characters entered are %C and %C. Had it been an integer, you would have written characters entered are, the numbers entered are %D and %D, followed by A and B. So here also I will write A and B. The characters entered are %C and %C. So it's absolutely same. Let me run this program. What is the problem? I did not define B. B is another character. Let me define it. Enter two characters. You write GH. The characters entered are G and H. You remember, %C scans one character. So you just had written G. G has been scanned. I run it once more. HYT. What will happen now? It will only say H and Y because you told it to scan two characters. So basically no difference between an integer and a character. Almost same. One small difference is there though. What is that? See, had it been an integer, you differentiate the two integers by either a space or an enter. I will give you the example. Like over here, had it not been character but integers, enter two integers, you would have scanned it as %D and %D. Now you would have written the integers entered are %D and %D, almost same. And then this A and B would not have been declared as character, but this would have been declared as integer. If you run this program, then the two integers that you declare may be 56. You give a space and write 143. It will definitely scan 56 and 143 as two different integers and say that the integers entered are 56 and 143. There is a difference though when you use character. I will show you very soon. I run this program once more. This time I write 54, 145 and I put another one, 98. What will it say? The integers entered are 54 and 145. It neglects the 98 because 98 is the third integer which you did not scan. There is no space for scanning a third integer. You have scanned only two integers. But how did it differentiate between the two integers? Check once more. 54, 99. How is it differentiating between the two integers? By looking at the space in between. The space in between allows it to understand that there are two integers separated by the space. So similarly, if you run it and write like this, 54, enter 99, still it will say 54 and 99. The differentiating factor between the two integers over here is the enter. In the previous run, it was the space. I repeat once more, Alt enter. You write 67, 32 by a space. It says 67 and 32. You can again run and now differentiate by a enter. Still it will say 67 and 32. What is the differentiating factor of the two integers? How does it understand the difference of the two integers? By the space or the enter. Now when they are the characters, the differentiating factor is not the space. But because it is a character, it only scans one input from the keyboard. You enter C or D or E, it immediately scans it as a character. Because the space is itself also a character. Please understand what I mean to say. When I am writing character AB, when you are asking to scan a character, it will only scan one press of the keyboard. Whatever you have entered, maybe A, maybe W, maybe C, maybe Y, whatever. But that one press of the keyboard, whichever character has been you have entered, that will be scanned if you scan a character. The space will not be benefiting because space itself is also a character. I will try to explain this. Alt enter. Enter two characters. I write A, B. See, I have not given any space in between. Still, it is able to understand that the two characters, I have not changed this integers, this should be characters. See, still if you run it, you say A, B, you are not differentiating it by a space in between. Still it understands that the characters entered are A and B. Why? Because character means it scans only press of a character or press of a key. Whereas an integer is scanned till you enter the space or you enter the enter. Until you press the enter or you press the space, it scans the integer as one integer. 673 you press. It scans 673. If you press a enter after that or a space after that, it does not scan 6, 7 and 3 separately. It makes it 673 together until and unless you press a enter or you press a space. 673 as a whole is scanned as an integer. But over here when you are entering two characters, you are saying A, B, it is scanning it as A and B because it only scans one character, press of one key. I think you understand this. Is not it so? Now the interesting part of it will be, what if you write A space B? Very interesting. You have entered two characters. You have written A space B. It is saying characters entered are A and you see it is nothing. But actually it has printed a space. If you see the cursor blinking, do you see the cursor is blinking one space, leaving one blank space? There is one blank space before the cursor because the space that you entered, that is also a character. You have written A space B. It is treating B as the third character which you did not scan. B is the third character which you did not scan. You have scanned only two characters, %C. So what is it doing? It is entering A as the first character scanned and space or the blank space as the second character scanned. B is the third character which it did not scan because you had written only %C, two characters. What if you scan a third character? And over here you use character C. So over here ampersand A, ampersand B, ampersand C. Now you write the characters entered are %C, and %C. And A, B and C, three characters. All the same, I have scanned three characters and entered or outputted three characters. See what will happen? Enter two characters, it should have been three characters anyway. A space B. See what will it write? The characters entered are A, comma space and B. Space is also a character. So integer is differentiated. Two integers are differentiated, or scanning of two integers are differentiated by using or looking at the space or the enter in between. Whereas this is differentiated by only, it is taking only scanning one character. There is no differentiating factor. After pressing of one key, one character will be scanned. And pressing of the second key will scan the second character. Pressing of the third key will scan the third character. So do you understand the difference? So let me make it enter three characters because I am looking for three characters now. Enter three characters. Now I run it. What if I enter A over here and enter over here and a B over here? Will I enter another character? Three characters it is saying. How many characters did I enter? I have entered three characters. See what it is saying. It is saying the characters entered are A, comma, the comma has been printed because I printed the comma, followed by entered. Enter has taken it to the next line, and B. Do you see this? The blank space has been, there is no blank space, the enter has been printed. The enter is the second character which is scanned. It scanned A as the first character, enter as the second character, and B as the third character. So I think you understand how it scans, how it differentiates. Now using this concept, you can scan two characters separately. You can write enter two characters, scan three characters, and say the two characters entered are %C and %C, and get rid of the middle character B. Do you understand what I mean to say? I scan two characters, I say enter two characters, separated by space. I tell the user, you enter two characters separated by space. So, separated by blank space. Enter two characters separated by a blank space. I tell the users deliberately, enter two characters separated by a blank space. So I scan %C, I know the first character, the user, how will the user enter? I have told the user enter two characters separated by a blank space. So maybe user will enter A blank space B, or maybe user will enter G blank space H. Just for the sake of understanding, I am writing G and H. User enters like this. So this first %C, what does it scan? It scans G. The second %C, that is A, is G. %C, second %C scans the blank space, and the third %C scans the H. So C is H. So you are printing A and C, that means you are printing G and H. Is not it so? Do you understand what I mean to say? I tell the user enter two characters separated by a blank space. Now definitely user will enter like G blank space H. So you scan %C. What does it scan? The G. Once you press the G, G is scanned and put to A. Then you press the blank space. As soon as you press the blank space is scanned and put within B. Then you press H. H is scanned and pressed within C. So G and H are scanned within A and C. So you print A and C, G and H will be printed. So I get rid of this, run this program again and see what happens. See G space H. The two characters entered are G and H. So do you understand what is happening? So the blank space, how it works, how characters can be scanned. So this is simple. Now I will show you another very interesting thing. I go back to one character again, enter one character. I deal with only one character, char A. Or what if I deal with two characters? Doesn't matter, character AB. So enter two characters, I tell the user. Enter two characters. I put over here. So scanf %C, I scan within A and B. C is not needed. So the two characters entered are %C, A and B. So very simple again, character, I go back to the old program, character A, B, enter two characters, I scan them within A and B, two characters are %C and %C, A and B. If I run this program, what will happen? If I print say TY, what will happen? The two characters entered are T and Y. Simple, T and Y will be entered as two characters. Now, what I want to now show to you is, suppose I now print the two characters as capital T, capital Y, what will happen? It will print the two characters of capital T and capital Y. Now what I mean to say now, I replace this %C and make it %D. Please understand this. I scan two characters, but instead of printing it as two characters, I print it as two integers. Will it work? Let's check once. I enter A, B. It should print, had I printed %C and %C, AB, it should have printed A and B. The two characters entered are A and B. But I have printed it as %D and %D. See what it prints? 97 and 98. Interesting. A is 97, B is 98. Let me then see CD. A was printed as 97, B was printed as 98. C is 99, D is 100. So what is E? EF 101 and 102. GH 103 and 104. Remember 103 and 104. So next comes IJ. I enter IJ 105 and 106. Do you understand the interesting thing? When you are printing it as integers, it is printing some values which is meaningful. What are those meaningful values? A character when printed as an integer is printing 97. B character when printed as an integer is printing 98. C character when printed as an integer prints 99. D character when printed as an integer prints 100, and so on. Similarly, if you continue, what should Z print? A is 97, B is 97 plus 1, 98, C is 97 plus 2, 99. Is not it so? So Z should be similarly 97 plus the equivalent number. Z is just, see 122. Z is 122, 97 plus 25. B is the second one. So 97 plus 2 minus 1. This is 97 plus 3 minus 1, 2. Then 97 plus 26 minus 1 is 122. So Z is 122. So do you understand this? So what have I done? I have scanned two characters and printed them as integers. So if I scan, let us make it simple now. One character I scan and print that one character as an integer. The character you entered, is %D, not %D and %D, is %D, and this is A. So if I print, I will get to understand A is 97, B is 98, C is 99. Similarly, Z is 122. Y should be 121. See, Y should be 121. Isn't it so? Now, I have scanned it as a character and printed as an integer. So, I can also write like this, the character entered is %C with equivalent integer value %Z D. So each and every character has got an equivalent integer value. So I am saying enter one here. I should not write enter two characters, should enter the character, one character. So one character I enter and then I output that character. I am printing it as a character and also I am printing its equivalent integer value. See what I am printing then? I have printed A and A. I need to print A and A. This A is going to replace the %C. So say suppose I have scanned A, I have inputted A. So within A is the character A. When printed as %C, it should output A, and when printed as %D, it should output 97. So A printed as a character should be A itself if A is inputted. And if A is inputted, then A as an integer is 97. What I mean to say is, say I input A. The character entered is A with equivalent integer value 97. Similarly, if I write B, the character entered is B with equivalent integer value 98. If I print C, the character entered is C with equivalent integer value 99. Similarly, if I print Z, the character entered is Z with equivalent integer value 122. So I think you understand this. Every character has got an equivalent integer value. Now this equivalent integer value is called ASCII, or if I write in capitals, ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. American Standard, American Standard Code for information interchange. This is what ASCII means. Now every character has got an ASCII value associated with it. ASCII value of small a is 97, small b is 98, similarly small c is 99. Continuing like this, small z is 122. Let me run this program again and enter capital A this time. Capital A, the character entered is capital A with equivalent integer value 65. So capital A is 65. I should not call it integer value anymore. I should write with ASCII value. Let me not call it equivalent integer value, but call it ASCII value. So if I run it, see capital A 65. Again run it, capital B 66. Again run it, capital C 67. Again run it, capital D 68. So similarly, capital Z 90. 65 plus 25, 65 plus 26 minus 1 is 90. See what I meant to say. Again, if I go by ASCII, capital A is as a character, it's a character. Capital A as a character, ASCII value is 65. Capital B as a character, its ASCII value is 66. Capital C as a character, its ASCII value is 67. Capital D as a character, its ASCII value is 68, and so on. Capital Z as a character, its ASCII value is 90. Now one interesting thing you will point out then, small a is 97, capital A is 65, difference is 32. And small b and capital B difference should also be 32. 98 minus 66, 32. Difference. In this way, 122 and 90, again the difference should be 32. So difference between the capital value and the small value is 32. Now I will, from this, an interesting point will come out. But one thing I want to show you, a character scanned can be outputted as an integer. Can the reverse happen? Like suppose I write int a. And I scan that as an integer. Enter the integer. I write enter the integer. I scan an integer. And then I say the character entered is %c with ASCII value %d. That is, I write a and a again. See what I meant to say? Over here an integer will be entered, because if I tell the user enter the integer, expected the user will enter an integer. Say suppose user enters 97. So you are saying the character entered is %c. Over here you are saying a is 97. 97 you are trying to change it to %c. 97 you know is small a. Should small a be printed with ASCII value 97? Let's see whether it happens or not. It should happen. Is not it so? Let me run it. Alt R enter. Enter the integer 97. The character entered is small a with ASCII value 97. So you are trying to print 97 as a character. You know 97 is the ASCII value of small a. So if printed as %c, small a will be printed. Till now in all the programs you have printed so many integers so many times. We never realized that at any point of time, had I printed it as %c, it would have printed a character. So similarly, if I print 100, if I enter 122, it will print z with ASCII value 122. But small a to small z varies from the range of 97 to 122. Similarly, if I print 65, enter 65, it will print capital A. If I enter 66, it will print capital B. If I enter 90, it will print capital Z. What if I enter 91? Capital A to capital Z is 65 to 90. Small a to small z is 97 to 122. What is 91? 91 does not fall in that range. What is 91 then? See, opening bracket is also a character. The ASCII value of opening bracket is 91. In this way, you can actually print all the characters and see what is the ASCII value of them. What I mean to say is, you don't scan any integer. Don't scan any integer. But suppose from here you start writing a program for I equal to 0, I less than maybe 100 or 200, I plus plus, I print all the characters, printf, I just print firstly %c, %d, that is I print 0, 1, 2, see I have started from 0, gone up to less than 200, I plus plus, I have printed 0 first, 0 and its equivalent character. I told you every character has got an equivalent integer ASCII value. So everywhere I am printing that character and seeing, and that integer and seeing what is its equivalent character, or what is the ASCII value of a character, maybe reverse way. See what is happening. I am printing 0. So I am printing 0 over here, and %c means the ASCII, the character equivalent of 0. Similarly, next time 1. So it is printing the character equivalent of 1. In this way, sometimes or the other, you will print 65. This will print 65, and corresponding to 65, what will it print? It will print A, capital A. So 65 over here and capital A over here. So everywhere I am printing, I will put, after printing this, let me just not give this gap, let me save some space, and everywhere I give 2 gaps. Let's see what happens. I has not been defined. So A is not needed over here, I is needed, alter, enter. See 0. What is the equivalent of 0? 0 does not have any character associated with it. The equivalent of 1, see a smiling face sort of thing. 2, another smiling face sort of thing. 3, a heart sign. 4, say a square type of maybe a diametrical or diagonal square sort of thing. In this way, reach up to 65. You search 65, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the first line, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, up to 26 in the next line, 27, so on it continues, 40 up to 40. Next line goes up to 53. Next line, see 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. 65 is A, 66 is B, 67 is C, 68 is D, and so on up to 90. 90 you see in the next line is Z. In this way you continue up to 93 in this line, then starts 97 in the next line, 94, 95, 96, 97, small a, and so on it continues up to 122. Achha, 0 as a character, does it have an equivalent ASCII? Definitely it will have. 0 should also have an equivalent ASCII. If you run through this entire thing, you will learn all the characters. See over here, all the characters you will learn. Like if you want to print a comma, you can print 44. See, look at 44 in the fourth line. 44 is comma. See, look at 48. 48 is 0. So the character 0, its equivalent ASCII is 48. The character 1, its equivalent ASCII is 49. The character 2, its equivalent ASCII is 50. The character 3, its equivalent ASCII is 51, and so on. Do you understand this? So in this way, you can print the equivalent numbers also. So suppose over here, for I equal to 0 and so on, let me tell you, this characters, how long will it continue? It can continue up to 255. You run it. See, up to 255, something or the other is printed. I have written 250, less than 255, up to 255. So less than 256 will work. Run it. See, up to 255, characters have got a meaning. See, 225 is beta, 224 is alpha, 227 is gamma, and so on. The characters are printed. 240, an equivalent sign. 241, a plus minus sign. So the different signs, if you need, you can print like this. You can print all the characters. Interesting thing is, a character stays in only one memory location. You remember integer? If you declare int A takes 2 memory locations. If you remember this, A takes 2 memory locations. But if you write char A, character A, then a character A declared A will take only 1 memory location. 1 memory location means how many bits? 8 bits. 8 bits means 8 bits, each weight is 1, 2, then 1, 2, then 4, then 8, the weights, I am writing the weights, 8, then comes 16, then 32, then comes 64 is not so, and then comes 128. So these are the weights of 8 bits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits. So the maximum value that can stay, maximum value of the character is all ones over here. Check out 1, 8 bits means 8 ones are the maximum value, 1, 1, 1, 1, continued 1, 1, 1 and 1, 8 bits together. 8 bits, 8 ones, what is this, that value? 255. That's why characters vary from 0 to 255. I have printed from I equal to 0 and gone up to I less than 256, that is I have gone up to 255. So characters can have all values starting from 0 to 255 and all characters mean something or the other. 0 means certain character, 1 means certain character, similarly and so on, 0 means certain character, 1 means certain character, 2 means certain character, and so on up to 255, which means certain character. In between falls 65, 65 means A. In between falls 90, 90 means capital Z, 65 means capital A. In between falls 97 means small a. In between falls 122 means small z, and so on up to 255 possible. Why up to 255? Because a character is of 8 bits. 8 bits means 8 ones maximum. Over here what can stay maximum? 8 ones. Minimum 8 zeros means 0, and maximum 8 ones means what? 255. So the maximum character possible is 255. So 0 to 255, every value means some character or the other. Is not it so? So I have printed the characters and I have shown you. Now suppose somebody has given me a program to write. What is the program somebody gives me? Somebody gives me that I will enter the I will enter a character in small letter. Change the character to uppercase. That is, the program given to me is something like this. Change the inputted character to uppercase. This is the program that is given to me. How do you change the inputted character to uppercase? How is it possible? Very simple. Once the inputted character is entered, if it is a small case, then it falls between 97 to 122, the value. You scan it as a character. You write char A. Scan it as a character. But once you scan it as a character, the value entered maybe is B. Actually inside the representation is 98, because small a's representation is 97. So small b's representation is 98 over here. If you want to change it to uppercase, what do you need to do? Simply 98 minus 32. You know that you will get 66. And then you print it as a character. What will be printed? Capital B will be printed. Is not it so? So what will I do? I will simply write char A, the program now. Let's go to the program straightforward. Char A. I say that enter, printf, enter the character. Enter the small case character. Small case character. That is, small case means small a, small b, and so on. I scan it within A, the character declared. Now what will I do? I will do a small correction. I get rid of all this. I do a small correction now. Minus 32. I simply write the capital letter. I take capital A is equal to small a minus 32. So I define a capital A also. Capital A is equal to small a minus 32. So this capital A definitely contains the character in capital letters. Say suppose 97 has been entered. So this small a is 97. So what is capital A? 97 minus 32. What is that? 65. So now if I print capital A as a character, it will print capital A. Printf the capital case character, capital A's character counterpart is, I will write the character as %C, %C. What will I do over here? I will print capital A. Is not it so? I have declared a capital A, I have just printed it as capital A case counterpart is %C capital A. You see, the program will run smoothly. Only thing is, you will have to get this part, you have to comment also. So I remove this from here and put it over. So the change that I need to make over here is, I need to firstly, this is a character that I scan. So enter the small case character. scanf person C ampersand A you scan, you just convert it capital A equal to small a minus 32. For example, 97 has been scanned. So once 97 has been scanned, you simply write capital A is equal to small a minus 32. You make it 65. So if you print it as person C capital A, then what will be printed? Definitely 32 will be printed. Let me run this program again and check. Enter the small case character. Say I print small e. The capital case counterpart is capital E. You again run it. You say small y. Capital case is small y, capital Y. You run, write small a, capital A. So capital counterpart is easily printed. Very simple. You are scanning the character, subtracting 32. Why is it possible? Look over here. Because of the ASCII values, small a's ASCII value is 97, capital A's is 65, 32 lesser. You can also do the reverse thing. You ask the user, enter for the uppercase character. Enter for the uppercase character. So I will print the lowercase character counterpart. I will print the lowercase character counterpart. But for that, the uppercase must be scanned within capital A. So the small character small a is the small a is actually capital A plus 32. Is right so? If I scan the uppercase counterpart as capital A, say over here, user will enter capital A means suppose user enters capital A itself. That means it is scanned inside as 65. You want to change it to small a means you want to change it to 97. So how to do it? Small a is capital A 65 plus 32. So the lowercase character you can so easily print now. Instead of capital A, you need to print small a now. Let me run this program again and check. Uppercase, enter the uppercase character. Say I enter capital Y. So the lowercase counterpart is small y. You print capital R, definitely small r. So everything is printed like this. What if I want to change to the reverse case? Say now user says change the inputted character to uppercase. No, change the inputted character to lowercase or uppercase. To lowercase or uppercase. What I mean to say is you change it to either lowercase or uppercase depending on what it is. That is, I don't know whether it is small a or capital A or what. It may be anything, but you change it to the reverse case. So over here capital A will not do anything. Let us take small b. So now what I do is I scan within small a. Now I will have to check whether it is smaller case or uppercase. So you see like this, if small a is greater than equal to 65 and small a is less than equal to 90, that is it is within the range of 65 and 90. In that case, you know it is a capital character. 65 to 90 means it is between capital A to capital Z. In that case, the B will be A plus 32, small a plus 32. Is not it? So if it is between 65 to 90, you want to change it between 97 to 122. So small b equal to small a plus 32. Else, if this small a can have another range, it can be between 97 to 122, which means it is in the small range. In that case, you want to change it to a capital character, b equal to a minus 32. If it is between 97 to 122, you want to change it to between 65 to 90. So in that case, minus 97 to 122 range, you want to change it to 65 to 90 range. If it is between 65 to 90 range, you want to change it to 97 to 122 range. Now you can say the reverse case character counterpart is this person C not small a but B. You have taken it within B. Is not it so? I think you understand this program. Let me run this again. Enter the uppercase character, not uppercase character, I should have written enter the character. Anyway, small f is capital F, but if you run it as capital Y, if you enter capital Y, it will print small y. So this is not uppercase, enter the character, as simple as that. Enter the character. So I run it again, enter the character. This time I firstly print in capital R. So the reverse case counterpart is small r. Now I enter small r. The reverse case is capital R. So this is how you deal with characters. We will be playing with characters, doing several other things with characters after this small break. You can look at this program, understand characters. Let me keep this intact. When we come back, we will have this program in our hand, and then we will do with other characters also. Thank you so much. Let us take a bit of break and come back.